Okay, good morning and welcome to Solving Equations with Variables on Both Sides. And today we're going to add to our plate what happens when we have several variables on both sides and what happens when we have fraction and decimal coefficients. So if you have our note packet today, we are going to start with example 6 here. If you don't have the note packet, either write the examples on a scrap sheet of paper or write them on the back of your assignment. Okay, so example 6 says solve 0.05x plus 925 equal 0.03x equal 1250. Okay, so you'll notice that there is a variable, an x, on the left side of the equation and on the right side, and the equal sign's in the middle. So your first step here, even though we're working with decimals, is to get all the variables on one side. Now we practice getting them all on the left, but you could get them on the right, but for the sake of keeping everything consistent, we're going to keep doing it on the left. Okay, so in order to do that, we're going to cancel out the variable on the right. So the opposite of 0.03x would be to subtract it. Okay, and so we'll cross that out. Now we have to subtract it on the right side as well, and we have to subtract it from the one that has the x. So if you're unsure, make sure you use a calculator. You can type that in like this without the x, just to be sure, and then add the x back on. So you see it's 0.02, and then we're going to add our x back on. Plus 925 equal 1250. And now we only have one variable that's here, and we have our basic two-step equation. So 1250 is already safe. It's already on the right side of the equation. We need to get 925 out first now. So the opposite of plus 925 would be to subtract it. So we cancel it. Now we cancel it over here. And again, make sure that you use a calculator either in your phone or on your Chromebook if you're unsure. So we use 0.02x comes down, and then as you can see here, it's 325. With these bigger numbers and with decimals, using a calculator really does help you get the right answer. Okay, so the last step, we're going to undo the 0.02 times x by dividing by 0.02. And so again, it's really hard to know that without a calculator, so we divide 325 by 0.02, and we get 16,250 is our final answer, which is kind of large. But again, it's not unusual to get those kind of numbers when we're working with fractions and decimals. Okay, so that's example 6 with a decimal coefficient. Example 7 I ended up changing if you are out of the packet that I originally gave you. And we're going to use this example instead. We're going to use 4b plus 6 equal 5/2 b plus 12. Okay, so this time we have a fraction coefficient here, and I'm going to show you how to put these in a calculator if you are struggling with fractions. Okay, so we're going to start the same way. We need to cancel out one of the variables. So I always cancel the one on the right to go on the left. So I'm going to subtract 5/2 b, cancel. Now I'm going to subtract 5/2 b over here. Now, this is how you would type that in a calculator. You're going to do 4 minus, and then use a parenthesis to do your fraction. And then we're going to go 5 divided by 2, because a fraction means division. End the parenthesis, and then press equal. And you get 1.5. Now, we're going to work with the decimal for now, and if we have to, we'll change it back in a minute. So now we have 1.5b plus 6 equal 12 is what's left over here. Okay, so now we need to get the 6 out. So we're going to subtract 6 because that's the opposite of addition. And now I have 1.5b equals 6. And now my final step is to divide by 1.5. Okay, cancel. And so let's see if that gets rid of our fraction and decimal altogether. 6 divided by 1.5 equals, and guess what? We end up with a nice integer of 4. And so sometimes being able to type the fractions in the calculator is a good thing, and then at the end of it, you lose the fraction altogether. So our answer is 4. Okay, I added 2 examples here just because I realized that we hadn't talked about what we do when there are multiple variables on one side of the equation. So the 2 I added, I'm going to slide this down, are example 8 and example 9. Depending on how long it goes, I might just do 8, but I'll try and get 9 in here too. Okay, so the one I added was negative 7x minus 3x plus 2 equal negative 8x minus 8. Okay, so the difference here between everything we've done so far is that we now have 3 variables. 2 of them are on the left side and 1 is on the right. In order to take care of those, if we have more than 2, is to combine like terms like we did way back several lessons ago. So since these 2 are on the same side, we're going to start by combining negative 7x minus 3x first, okay? So negative 7 minus 3 is going to give us negative 10x if we put it together. Then we're going to bring down the rest, plus 2 equal negative 8x minus 8. Okay, now we only have 2 variables, but one's on the left side and one's on the right. So we're going to cancel the one on the right. So the opposite of negative 8x would be to add it. And so we're going to add it over here to the 10x. So negative 10 plus 8 is going to give me negative 2x. Bring down our plus 2 equals, and now this minus sign becomes a negative on the 8. And now we're back to a 2-step equation where negative 8 is safe, and we have to get out this negative 2 and this positive 2. So to start, we're going to get this positive 2 out by subtracting. All right, so now, and I'm going to move this over here because of space. So now I have negative 2x equal negative 8 minus 2 is negative 10. And my last step is to divide by negative 2 to get that out. And negative 10 divided by negative 2 gives me positive 5 as my final answer. Cool. All right, and one other one, the last one, just because I want to make sure you get every possible example, is what do we do when we have multiple variables on both sides and there's parentheses? Okay, we always start with the parentheses. So no matter where it is in the equation, even if it's in the middle, we have to start by distributing. So we're going to multiply. 4 times 1, that gives me 4. And then we're going to multiply 4 times 5x, which gives me positive 20x. And then we're going to bring the rest of the equation down. So I'm going to bring down negative 8x and the plus sign, the equal sign, negative 6x, and minus 14. And then we're going to look at what we have. We still have 3 variables. These 2 are on the same side, so we're going to combine those. Negative 8x plus 20x gives me positive 12x if I put it together. Bring down plus 4. Bring down equals. Bring down negative 6x minus 14. Okay, again, I got rid of one set. Now I have 2 variables. One's on the left side, one's on the right side. So I'm going to cancel the one on the right. So opposite of negative 6x would be plus 6x. Plus 6x over here. And we get 18x plus 4, bring that down, equal now negative 14. Okay, and I'm going to switch colors here because I'm running into another blue. All right, so negative 14 is safe. The positive 4's got to make its way out, so we're going to subtract 4 and subtract 4. bring down 18x equal negative 14 minus 4 is negative 18. And the last step would be to divide by 18. And we get x equal negative 1 as our final answer. Whew. Okay, so hopefully that covers everything you need to know about variables on both sides of the equation. If you need to go back and watch some of the other videos before this, leading up to this, to help you, please go ahead and do that. They are posted. And also, if you are out for whatever reason, I can always help you when you return to class. Okay, hope to see you soon. Have a great day.